Well, hey there, folks. It's Tuesday, the 26th, November. Cheers. Folks, I got to tell you, I'm overjoyed. Thank you for the continued response. These go out today. That's just from yesterday and this morning. Don't stop. Don't stop. You can wait if you want until Bandcamp Friday, but I wouldn't be unhappy if I sold out before Bandcamp Friday. I have another release coming. I've said it. Should arrive by next week on CD. In its own, no, not in its own way, but seriously, just as good of a selection of music by me on this Sonicity, the next one coming out, as on Inner Image. I'll talk about Rex, but let me talk about me first, okay? This feels like a breakthrough. It does. It feels like people are really getting it. That this is good music. It's high quality, individual, unique, positive. The energy is positive on this. It sure is. So I have some records, but let me go to the comments right quick, because someone mentioned Nick Drake. I remember Nick Drake. I have his records, not all of them. Thank you, people, for loving the music. But here's one where it's like I was approached by someone who said, I really like the production on your latest release. Is there any chance that you would teach music production classes or of you producing other musicians? Not for free, of course. What a compliment. Thank you. But as I thought about it after first responding to them, I thought to myself, that's quite a compliment, but I don't know that that's a bridge I'm ready to cross working for other people. As a producer, I would be actually quite happy to share a couple of things that I think ought to be kind of known, but that's quite a compliment that someone would like to be produced by me, or they'd like to get the quality of sound that I'm getting. Part of the key to me is to please your ears. When I'm recording, I'm not thinking about I want to sound like so-and-so. I want to make a record like this. I want to do that. I follow the sound and the inspiration, whatever drives me forward on the piece. It's driven by what I'm listening to. I don't know how to read music. It blows my mind that Tony Banks, even though he was trained, barely could read music. And he's a big influence on me, even though it's not direct. It's in there, though. You can hear it. And so I'm not real technical. Like, I know how to work the board, but when people start talking technical terms, I get lost. I know this much. I don't use much compression. That's something I paid attention to by listening to other artists, producers, and watching tutorials, and listening and learning for myself what it is exactly compression does. And I use just a very standard amount. When I add instruments, I do not automatically add compression, okay? What you hear is what's happening, okay? One more thing. When I downloaded The Cure's new album, Music of a Lost World, I saw where, once again, a lot of major releases are doing this. They're saturating the bandwidth. And when you open it up when I opened it up in one of my workstations and look at the wave file, it's just you know what I mean? It's like I don't do that, and so there's the natural peaks and valleys of the music are left intact, and I think that's part of what you hear that is so nice. But thank you very much. If I change my mind, I will say publicly, let's talk about how I can help you with your music for a fee. But the fact that the person is offering to pay me is not an incentive to do it. Okay, it's not the money that drives me. It's not. I need the money, but notice, I am not a Trump typer where it's just the money. Money! What do I got to do to get it? No. It's much more important to enjoy what I'm doing. Cheers. This coffee is good this morning. So, to get to music, recently I was contacted by Jackpot Records saying that they wanted to send me some promos. I said, great. And then nothing happened for months. Then I finally got a message saying, we're going to send you a James Brown 3-record set. Great. But I let them know, frankly, the reason I know about your label is your psychedelic reissues. If you want to send me stuff, that's what I'd like to get. They said, noted. We'll see. But what they sent me, and I kept the hype sheet, is their brand new release just came out on last Friday. The complete James Brown Christmas. Now, I'm tickled to receive this. It's something I would never buy. Do I have a James Brown collection? Yes. But would I buy James Brown Christmas albums? No. No offense. So this is a wonderful gift and hopefully the beginning of a relationship with Jackpot Records. Here, this is the hype sheet. Complete James Brown recordings. Includes original album artwork, mastered and cut by Kevin Gray, of course. That's a big one. Who cut and mastered it? Bernie Grundman, Kevin Gray, those are the names. Did I know about these James Brown Christmas albums? Well, yeah, Yeah. Never had any interest, I've never bought a Christmas record. I don't think I have ever bought a Christmas record. But anyway, this is nice because, like they say, each album comes with its original cover. Now, I've gone ahead and played 2 of the 3 albums, not all the way through, but mainly to do a quality check. And these are nice. It's not bullshit about Kevin Gray cut. There's a reason the man's name is so revered. These sound excellent. The cut, okay, which I'm really aware of, listening to a lot of records. These are cut immaculately. They sound, you drop the needle on these. This is the one I started with. Hey America, Christmas. This is when James Brown was being topical. Black power and civil rights were hot topics, necessarily so. And he was weaving that into everything he did. And this was no exception. So this is where I started. And I said, oh, wow. So frankly, Jackpot Records, if you see this is a wonderful addition to my collection, Hey America by James Brown. And these records, even though they're not 180 grams is not necessarily the ticket. It's not the weight that makes it really good. It's the combination of the weight and the cut So cuts on lighter vinyl still sound great. So this is really, really nice. And I'll show the third cover because, again, the inner sleeves are the action. This is the one that I remember from childhood seeing. James Brown, The Soulful Christmas. Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto. That's the one I remember hearing. So actually I played, now that I think about it, I actually did play all three albums. These sound wonderful. Thank you, Jackpot Records. This is a hell of a start, hopefully, of a relationship, professional relationship. Because again, people do watch my videos, I noticed that the numbers are much higher for me talking than my music. People like to hear me talk about music. And so, you looking for some Christmas records? You probably already got the Mariah Carey. No, I don't have it. Interestingly, when I was getting promos from my brother when he worked for the distributor, I got a CD-ROM Christmas CD-ROM that I still have that heavily features Mariah Carey. Somewhere in the house, I still have it. I'm sure I do. Man, that copy is good. So Jackpot Records, they do a good job on the reissues. I have some stuff like Fallen Angels and a couple of other things. And the meters, I bought the Jackpot meters. I think that's what got them to send me the James Brown. But I want Psych. If I can get the psychedelic reissues, that's what I'd like to review and add to my collection. Thank you very much, Jackpot. So, a bit of listening yesterday. I was at the post office quite a while yesterday because, the way they have to process the addresses, especially customs, I was there for an hour. And I ended up, one of the clerks there, whenever she's there, I've been at this post office so long that people have retired, but I get really familiar with the clerks, and some I like better than others. And the one lady that I just connect with her because she is, like me, and shared how she ran away on the road and toured with Manic Street Preachers, and then certain things that I would say, it was like, oh, she's not bullshitting. So I gave her a copy yesterday. No, I'm not giving them away. I'm not, I got no reason to feel like I have to give my music away. I give plenty. So, what got played yesterday? Savage Republic, Jamahiriya. Almost had a connection through digital sex with Bruce Liker, who is, and Jackson Del Rey, to the people behind Savage Republic, and also Independent Press. This is released by Fundamental, but this was originally on Independent Press, with their letterpress works, which are notable. We almost had a release by them. It didn't work out. Apparently something still could happen. I hadn't played this in ages. This is primitive in many ways, kind of primal. There's also a folk dance aspect to the way it starts. But it's got a rough, raw type of sound. I love the graphics. They just really got into it. The design. Really enjoyed this. It's hadn't played this in a long time. And it's a sound unto itself. I saw them live. And it was kind of close to something you'd see like by Einstürzende Neubauten. They had a lot of junk on the stage besides the instruments. They did a lot of percussive jam outs during the show. Hadn't played this in a long time. This is really good. Savage Republic. Unique sound. Here's one that was sent to me through Lamur Records. Again, a label that hopefully they're doing good in Sweden, but I never see people talk about this label except for the people on it. But years ago, they sent this to me. Saw. No Way Black. Ended up listening to this entire thing because it was like, oh wow, I forgot. I thought this was just drone. It is drone, but it's also with live drumming and some other elements that I don't quite recognize. Isn't that nice looking? And it was like, oh wow, this is interesting. And then it would get to the point where, not to the point, but as the piece, I forget which side I listened to, probably the black side, it was slowly gathering steam with this droning sort of scraping sound. But it was so cool that I would find myself looking around and looking up to see, is that coming from outside? Is something going on? Is somebody moving a car or something? And I'd stop. I'd turn down the music for a second, and it was the record. It's like, oh man, this is sonically very interesting. Layered, Saw, No Way Black. This is something that if I'd heard it in a store, and I was there long enough to hear it develop, I'd ask, what is that? What is that? A couple more. Like I said, I've been doing deep digging in my crates because I got stuff that I don't remember. And here's one. Here's one, again, I bought it used because it was on Black Saint and because of who's on it. I mean, look at those people. Everyone. Lester Bowie, Fred Hopkins, Sheila Jordan, Gene Lee. The whole list. Top-rate players playing with Marcello Melis. Free to Dance. Now, when I put it on, what put me off when I first got this was all the vocalizing. There's a lot of singing and group singing on here. But as I listened to it yesterday, it's like, this is joyous. Free to Dance. Oh, I get it now. I see what's going on. This is positive energy. Free to Dance. Marcello Melis. It's good. Good playing too. The actual music playing on here is solid, and it whips up a storm. It does, of energy. It's wonderful. Last thing I have to show, yeah. Grachan Moncur III, AOD De Madrugada. This is a reissue. I have quite a few original bigs. I like. I was trying to collect this forever. I'm short maybe five titles in this particular series actual. The reissues are actually more desirable quality-wise because Giorgio Gomelski, who was the Yardbirds manager, started this label, has done a lot of things, was, even though he was behind a lot of cool things that happened, he was kind of a grifter. He was, he was a bit of a rip-off artist and would do things cheaply, thinking about his bottom line. Let me get that money. I know someone who knew him personally, okay? So I actually know someone who was friends with Giorgio Gomelski. I won't say that person's name. He's in the music industry. I'll say this much. He was friends with the New York Dolls back in the day in New York, okay? So he knew Giorgio, liked him, but also knew you don't let Giorgio do certain things for you. Back to the music. This is very laid back. This is not fire. This is really relaxed and really nice. Trombonist. Who's on the session? Bob Guerin, Fernando Martins, and the other two people are not so well known. This is good. This is good. Real nice. So that's what I have to share today. I'm happy to say that since my brother passed away, I've spent Thanksgivings alone at home. But this year, a friend of mine's daughter, Jenny, has invited me to spend. She wants to cook for me, and she knows that I have bad teeth, so she'll keep that in mind about how she prepares meals. But I'm happy, and I said, yes, I'll spend Thanksgiving dinner with you. Her dad was a good friend of mine, and he was it was a conflicted relationship because he was a dealer. He was my main dealer, for years, and so there was chaos in the home. I watched as Jenny grew up. Love her and her sisters. Unfortunately, her younger sister's already dead. But what a sweetheart, and what a strong woman. She's come through that madness really strong, real good person. So I'm happy that I'll be able to spend the holiday with her in good company. I hear from my family almost every day, and they're making their big plans to get together. And my sister Adrian's going to do all the cooking this year at her place because she just got her condo. They had to replace major plumbing all the way out to the streets. And so she had to completely redo the kitchen, and she's on cloud nine because it's done. So she's cooking up a storm. Yeah, I'd love to be with my family for Thanksgiving, to be there for that. That breaks my heart. But I ain't flying out there. Not spending that money and not going through that madness at the airports. I hate airports. So, at the risk of overdoing it, I'm going to end the video the way I started. Blowing my own horn. Inner Image. Wouldn't that be nice on a 12-inch record? See, I don't intend to re-up this like I did with Interlude. I did 100 of Interlude, and then I went ahead and bit the bullet and made 300 of them so that I could have it made as a proper CD. I have less than 100 left out of those, but still, it's like that was a big risk. And I did the same with the Muse. I re-upped that. So there's 200 copies of that out. And I still have a handful of both of those left. I'm not going to do that with this. When this 100 is gone, that's it. So you might not want to wait till Bandcamp Friday. I'd be happy to say next week this is sold out. That extra money that is going to Bandcamp, they can have it. Pick this up. I love the energy, knowing that the music is getting out there. The other thing I'd like to ask is, as you start to receive your CDs and you want to review it, let me know and send me a link to it. I'd love to know your thoughts. So grab a copy while you can. And like I say, Sonicity is coming. It's just as good. I plan to do the same thing with that starting next week, which is to feature the tracks in individual videos on my channel so you can hear. There's a couple of tracks on Sonicity that are personal favorites where I did a couple of them live, and it just, okay? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm still avoiding the news. Every time I look, it's like it's a nightmare. It's like this is that thing that's happening that was predicted by science fiction and probably has been planned. It's probably part of a long-term plan by people who have the wherewithal, the money, and the means to do it. It's just, the hell with democracy, oligarchy. Whoever's got the most cash rules. That's what's going on. Take care, people.